2026 is not waiting for you to be ready. The world doesn't pause so you can find confidence, discipline, or purpose. If you want a stronger future, you must start building yourself now. Denzel Washington often reminds us that greatness isn't luck, it's preparation meeting opportunity. Building yourself in 2026 is about sharpening your mindset, strengthening your character, and committing to daily discipline even when no one is watching. This is the year where excuses end, comfort zones shrink, and personal responsibility becomes your greatest power. You don't rise by chance, you rise by choice. Before you ever step out into the world trying to conquer success, you have to win the quiet war inside your own head. That's where everything begins. Not on the stage, not in the spotlight, not when people clap for you, but in the moments when you're alone with your thoughts, your fears, and your doubts. If you don't master that space, the outside world will master you. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your most dangerous enemy. There is no middle ground. Every action you take in life is first a thought. Every failure starts as a belief that says, I can't. Every victory begins with a decision that says, I will. The problem is most people let their thoughts run wild. They wake up already defeated, already tired, already convinced that life is harder for them than for anyone else. And then they wonder why nothing changes. You have to understand this. The world will test you. It will push you, ignore you, doubt you, and sometimes knock you flat on your back. That's not personal. That's life. The question is not whether pressure will come. The question is who you become when it does. A weak mind looks for excuses. A strong mind looks for solutions. You don't build a strong mind by wishing. You build it by training. Just like a muscle, the mind grows under resistance. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen it. Every time you stay focused when distractions are screaming for your attention, you strengthen it. Every time you keep going when quitting feels easier, you strengthen it. Most people wait for confidence to act. That's backwards. Confidence comes after action, not before it. You step forward scared. You speak even when your voice shakes. You try even when you're not ready. And with every step, your mind learns something powerful. I can handle this. That's how belief is built, through experience, not imagination. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you keep telling yourself that you're not good enough, smart enough, fast enough, lucky enough, life will agree with you. Life always agrees with the story you tell yourself. So if you want a better future, you have to change the narrative playing in your head. Replace, I can't, with I'm learning. Replace, it's too late, with this is my time. Replace fear with faith, not blind faith, but faith rooted in effort. Focus is a rare skill now. Everybody is distracted. Everybody is reacting. Everybody is chasing noise. But focus is power. When you focus, you give your energy direction. When you scatter it, you get nothing done and call it being busy. Decide what matters and give it your full attention. One goal, one season, one direction. That's how progress is made. You're going to have bad days. Let me be clear about that. Days when nothing goes right. Days when you question your purpose. Days when the mirror doesn't reflect the person you thought you'd be by now. Those days don't define you. How you respond to them does. A strong mind doesn't deny pain, it moves through it. It acknowledges the struggle, learns the lesson, and keeps walking. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. That comparison will rob you of joy and clarity. You don't know their story, their sacrifices, or their scars. Your path is yours for a reason. Stay in your lane, run your race. Timing is everything, and your timing is unique. There will be voices, some external, some internal, telling you to slow down, settle, play it safe. They'll call it realism. Don't confuse fear with wisdom. Be practical, yes. Be prepared, absolutely. But don't let caution kill your calling. Dreams require courage, and courage starts in the mind. Talk to yourself with respect. If you wouldn't say something to someone you love, don't say it to yourself. Your self-talk matters. You're always listening. Encourage yourself, correct yourself, push yourself. But don't tear yourself down. You're a work in progress, not a finished product. When setbacks come, and they will, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Every experience is either a lesson or a blessing, sometimes both. The mind that grows asks better questions, and better questions lead to better answers. At the end of the day, mastering your mind means taking responsibility. No blaming the past, no waiting for permission, no expecting someone else to save you. It's understanding that you have power over your attitude, your effort, and your response. That power is enough to change everything. So before you chase success, build the mindset that can sustain it. Before you ask the world for opportunity, prepare yourself to be worthy of it. Before you demand results, commit to the process. Because when your mind is right, your path becomes clear. And when your path is clear, nothing can stop you from becoming who you were meant to be. Success doesn't care how you feel when you wake up in the morning. It doesn't pause because you're tired, discouraged, or unmotivated. Success responds only to what you do, consistently, deliberately, and with purpose. That's why discipline matters more than motivation will ever matter. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Some days you feel unstoppable, other days you don't feel like getting out of bed. If your life depends on motivation, your results will always be unstable. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It's not about how you feel, it's about who you've decided to become. Discipline is waking up early when the bed is warm and your dreams are comfortable. It's choosing the work over the excuse. It's showing up when nobody is clapping, when nobody is watching, when nobody even knows you're trying. That's where real growth happens. Far away from the spotlight, a disciplined person understands something most people never learn: freedom comes from structure. People think discipline is restrictive, that it limits life. In reality, discipline creates options. When you manage your time, your energy, and your habits, you take control of your future. When you don't, your future controls you. Every great achievement is built on small, boring, repeated actions. There's nothing glamorous about consistency. It's not exciting. It's not dramatic. It's doing the same thing again and again, even when progress feels slow. But slow progress is still progress, and it always beats standing still. You don't become disciplined overnight. You build it one choice at a time. One early morning, one focused hour, one promise kept to yourself. And every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, your self-respect grows. That self-respect becomes confidence. That confidence becomes momentum. Most people break promises to themselves daily. They say they'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Over time, that teaches the mind a dangerous lesson. Your word doesn't matter. Discipline reverses that. It rebuilds trust with yourself. When you know you can rely on you, nothing shakes you. Discipline also teaches humility. It reminds you that talent alone isn't enough. There are talented people everywhere who never made it because they couldn't commit. Discipline humbles talent and sharpens it. It forces you to practice, to prepare, to respect the process. And the process always knows more than ego. There will be days when discipline feels heavy. Days when you're exhausted, frustrated, and questioning why you even started. Those are the days that matter most. Anybody can be disciplined when it's easy. Champions are built when it's hard. When your mind says stop, but your discipline says one more step. You have to learn to do what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Feelings lie. They exaggerate pain and minimize potential. Discipline cuts through that noise. It says, do it anyway. And every time you do, you prove to yourself that discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts. Look at your daily habits. That's your future in preview. Discipline isn't about giant changes. It's about small adjustments done consistently. What you eat, what you watch, what you read, how you spend your mornings, how you end your nights. These things are shaping your life whether you're aware of it or not. A disciplined person plans their days. They don't drift. They don't leave life to chance. They understand that time is the one resource you can never get back. Waste it, and it's gone forever. Use it wisely, and it compounds into something powerful. Discipline also means knowing when to say no. No to distractions. No to bad habits. No to people who pull you away from your purpose. Every yes costs you something. If you say yes to everything, you end up saying no to your own growth. You're not being disciplined for applause. You're doing it to build a life that doesn't collapse under pressure. A life where you're prepared when opportunity shows up. Because opportunity doesn't come with warnings. It comes suddenly, and it only stays for those who are ready. Discipline sharpens your focus. It trains you to finish what you start. It teaches patience in a world obsessed with instant results. And patience, when combined with effort, always produces excellence. Don't confuse discipline with punishment. It's not about suffering, it's about self-respect. It's saying, I deserve better than my excuses. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. In the end, discipline is love. Love for your future self. Love for your potential. Love for the life you know you're capable of building. And when motivation fades, as it always will, discipline will carry you forward. Because discipline will take you places motivation never could. Long after the applause fades and the lights go out, there's still one person you have to live with: yourself. That's why character matters. Not reputation, not image. Character. Reputation is what people think you are. Character is who you are when nobody's around, when there's nothing to gain, when doing the right thing costs you something. The world is full of talented people. Skill is common. Intelligence is common. What's rare is character. What's rare is someone who does the right thing when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unseen. That's where real strength lies. You don't build character in moments of ease. You build it in moments of temptation. When cutting corners would be faster. When lying would be easier. When quitting would save face. Every one of those moments is a test, and life is always testing you. Quietly, constantly. Character is built by the choices you make when no one is keeping score. When you return the extra change. When you show up on time even though no one checks. When you keep your word even though it would be easier not to. Those moments don't make headlines, but they shape your destiny. Understand that success without character is temporary. It might look impressive for a while, but it won't last. Eventually, who you really are catches up with what you've built. If the foundation is weak, the structure will collapse. Always. Integrity is doing the right thing even when it costs you opportunities. Especially when it costs you opportunities. There will be moments when compromising your values could get you ahead faster. Don't take them. Shortcuts always come with a price, and that price is usually paid later, with interest. Character also means consistency. Being the same person in every room. Not changing your values depending on who's watching. Not wearing masks to fit in. When your actions match your words, people trust you. And trust is more valuable than any skill you can learn. You don't need to announce your integrity. You don't need to advertise your morals. Live them. Let your behavior speak. Let people discover who you are over time. Quiet strength is always more powerful than loud performance. There will be moments when nobody notices your effort. When your discipline goes unseen. When your sacrifices feel invisible. Don't let that discourage you. Life is watching even when people aren't. And life always rewards what is real. Character shows up in how you treat people who can't do anything for you. The waiter, the cleaner, the stranger. Respect is not selective. If you're only kind when it benefits you, that's not character. That's strategy. You're going to make mistakes. Everyone does. Character doesn't mean perfection. It means accountability. It means owning your failures without excuses. Apologizing without justifying. Learning without blaming. Growth starts with honesty. The strongest people are not those who never fall, but those who get back up without becoming bitter. Bitterness hardens the heart. Character keeps it soft without making it weak. You can be firm, principled, and compassionate at the same time. There will be pressure to compromise, pressure to fit in, pressure to lower your standards. Don't. Standards are not burdens, they are boundaries. They protect you from becoming someone you don't respect. When you build character in private, it carries you in public. When challenges come, and they will, you won't panic. You won't fold, because you've already decided who you are. Decisions made in advance remove doubt in the moment. People may not always reward your integrity immediately. Sometimes it feels like the dishonest get ahead faster. Let them. Time has a way of revealing everything. Stay patient, stay steady. What's built on truth always outlasts what's built on shortcuts. Character gives you peace. Real peace. The kind that doesn't depend on applause or approval. The kind that lets you sleep at night knowing you didn't sell yourself to get where you are. That peace is priceless. At the end of your life, you won't be remembered for how fast you climbed, but for how you climbed. For whether you lifted others or stepped on them. For whether you stayed true when it would have been easier not to. Build your character in silence. Guard it fiercely. Because when everything else is stripped away, money, status, titles, character is what remains. And if you build that right, everything else has a way of falling into place. The world is moving fast, and it's not slowing down for anyone. If you stop learning, you don't stay in the same place. You fall behind. Comfort is expensive, and it always sends the bill later. Growth, on the other hand, demands payment up front, but it pays you back for a lifetime. Learning is not something you finish in school. School gives you a foundation, not a finish line. The moment you believe you already know enough is the moment you start becoming irrelevant. Life doesn't reward what you used to know, it rewards what you're willing to learn next. Every generation that survives change does so because it adapts. The ones who resist change get left behind, not because they lack ability, but because they lack humility. Humility is admitting that there is more to learn, more to improve, more to understand. Learning keeps your mind sharp and your spirit young. The moment curiosity dies, growth dies with it. Ask questions. Study people who are ahead of you. Listen more than you speak. Wisdom is rarely loud, it's usually quiet and patient. You don't have to learn everything, but you must learn something valuable. Pick a skill and commit to mastering it. Not dabbling, not trying it for a week. Mastery comes from repetition, focus, and patience. That process will frustrate you. Good. Frustration means you're stretching. Reading is one of the most powerful tools you have. A book lets you learn from someone else's mistakes without paying the price yourself. It allows you to borrow wisdom across time and experience. If you want to think better, read better. Learning also means unlearning, letting go of habits, beliefs, and mindsets that no longer serve you. Some of what worked before won't work again. That's not failure, that's evolution. Growth requires you to release the past without resentment. Technology is changing everything: jobs, industries, communication, opportunity. You can complain about it or you can study it. Those who learn how to use new tools gain leverage. Those who ignore them lose relevance. Adaptation is no longer optional. Learning isn't always comfortable. It puts you in rooms where you're not the smartest person. It exposes what you don't know. That discomfort is not weakness. It's proof you're growing. Pride avoids those rooms. Progress lives in them. Invest in your mind the way others invest in possessions. Skills appreciate, knowledge compounds. No one can take it from you. Markets crash. Trends fade. What you've learned stays with you forever. Don't wait for permission to improve. No one is coming to tap you on the shoulder and say, "No, it's your turn to grow." Growth is self-initiated, self-funded, self-driven. If you want a different future, have to study for it. Learning also teaches patience. You don't see results immediately. At first, it feels slow, confusing, overwhelming. Then one day something clicks. What was hard becomes natural. That's the reward for staying in the process. Stay teachable. Even when you succeed, especially when you succeed, success can close your ears if you let it. Stay open, stay curious, stay grounded. The moment you stop listening is the moment life stops teaching. You are never too old to learn and never too young to start. The only real mistake is believing that growth has an expiration date. As long as you're breathing, you're capable of becoming better. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. And preparation begins with learning, daily, intentionally, relentlessly. If you keep learning, you stay powerful. If you stop, you surrender your edge. Don't get comfortable, get curious. Because in a world that never stops changing, learning is the only way to stay standing. If your goals begin and end with you, they will never be strong enough to carry you through the hard days. Self-centered ambition runs out of fuel the moment things get painful. Purpose, on the other hand, gives you endurance. It gives meaning to struggle. It turns obstacles into assignments instead of excuses. Life is not just about what you can get, it's about what you can give. The moment you understand that, everything shifts. When your work serves something bigger than your ego, quitting becomes harder. Complaining becomes smaller. Fear loses its grip. Because now it's not just about you, it's about impact. Serving something bigger doesn't mean you have to save the world. It starts small. It starts with helping one person, adding value where you are, doing your job with excellence even when nobody's watching, showing up with integrity even when recognition doesn't come. The most fulfilled people are not the ones who chase happiness directly. Happiness is a byproduct. Fulfillment comes from contribution, from knowing that your effort made someone else's life better, even in a small way. That feeling lasts longer than applause ever will. When you attach your goals to service, failure becomes less frightening. You're not just chasing personal success, you're building something meaningful. You're planting seeds you may never personally benefit from. That's legacy. And legacy outlives ambition. Serving others also keeps you grounded. Success has a way of inflating the ego if you let it. Service deflates it. It reminds you that no matter how far you go, you didn't get there alone. Someone taught you. Someone opened a door. Someone believed in you before you believed in yourself. Gratitude grows when you serve. Perspective grows when you serve. You stop seeing life only through the lens of your own problems and start recognizing the shared human experience. That awareness strengthens you. It doesn't weaken you. Purpose is the anchor during storms. When life hits you hard, and it will, purpose keeps you steady. If your only motivation is comfort, pain will break you. But if your motivation is meaning, pain becomes bearable, even useful. You were not created just to consume, you were created to contribute. Every talent you have is a responsibility, not just a gift. Skills are meant to be used. Knowledge is meant to be shared. Experience is meant to be passed on. Service also demands humility. You don't always get credit. You don't always see results immediately. Sometimes you give without receiving anything in return. That's not loss. That's investment. Life has a long memory. What you give always comes back, just not always from the same place. When you serve something bigger, you stop asking, "What's in it for me?" and start asking, "How can I help?" That shift changes the way people experience you. Trust grows. Respect grows. Influence grows. True leaders understand this. Leadership is not position. It's responsibility. It's being willing to carry more so others can carry less. It's showing the way through example, not instruction. People don't follow titles. They follow service. There will be moments when serving feels thankless. When your effort seems unnoticed, don't stop. The impact you make is not always visible immediately. Some seeds take time to grow. Some never grow where you can see them. That doesn't make them less valuable. Serving something bigger than yourself also protects you from emptiness. Many people reach their goals and still feel hollow because they chase success without purpose. Money, status, and recognition can't fill a life that lacks meaning. Service can. At the end of the day, your life will not be measured by what you accumulated, but by what you contributed. By the lives you touched. By the example you set. By the values you stood for when it mattered. When your work serves others, your strength multiplies. Your fear shrinks. Your vision expands. You become part of something larger than your own survival. And that is where true greatness lies. So aim high, but aim beyond yourself. Build your dreams, but let them lift others too. Because when you serve something bigger than you, your life becomes bigger than you ever imagined.